Welcome to the first. You have a story. If you look back on your life, you've done things for the first time that no one in your family, in your town, in the country has done. This is Dr. Sandi. You have unknowingly paved the way for others without knowing it or even acknowledging it. This is where you tell your story so that those who come after you can walk in your footsteps to build their own firsts. Distinguished Toastmasters Melvin Garlick, known for his expertise in comedy, and Lisa Q, the founder and CEO at SIBO, were instrumental in leading the team of district leaders that achieved the prestigious Distinguished Club status for New York's District 119 Toastmasters. Their remarkable accomplishment was celebrated at the 2023 Toastmasters International Convention in the Bahamas, where they basked in the satisfaction of knowing they had made a positive impact on the lives of others. You can reach Melvin at melvin.garlick.tm@gmail.com and Lisa at lisa.qu.tm@gmail.com. If you are interested in District 119 Toastmasters, their website is district119tm.org. Hey, everybody, this is Dr. Sandi, and we're on the podcast, The First with Dr. Sandi. And I have some wonderful guests today. I'm so excited. I have Melvin Garlick. Melvin is our district director for District 119, which is the Toastmasters district that I'm in. And we also have Lisa Q. And Lisa, what is your exact title?
My exact title is immediate past district director of District 119.
Because Lisa was ahead of Melvin, and they worked together with some amazing accomplishments, and we're going to jump right into it today. So Melvin and Lisa, tell us, what are your firsts for Toastmasters?
Well, my first this year was this year I'm the district director. So that began July 1st. And so I have a strong legacy to follow because last year we were a distinguished district. And that's the first for District 119, which is a new district still. And so I have a lot to follow behind that because of Lisa's strong leadership. She inspired me and gave me the task to move forward and carry this legacy on. So that my first is being distinguished with District 119 and their trio leadership.
And so, Lisa, how did you set the tone for Melvin? What did you do to inspire him and to lay the foundation for that?
Well, actually, Melvin is the district director, so he is the boss right now. So he says he's the tone for the whole district. But what we decided, what we did last year, not only last year, me and Melvin, we've been working together for 3 years now, a little bit over 3 years. And over these 3 years, we collaborate a lot. We get to know each other better. But I think the first time getting this new district, only 3 years old, to get distinguished, and that kind of a tone, not set as only for for Melvin and his team, and set up to all the members, and we can believe whatever we set up the mind, we can achieve it.
Fantastic. Why don't we back up a little bit? And Melvin, why don't you tell us about Toastmasters in general? What is the purpose of Toastmasters, and how many clubs are in the district that you're managing right now?
So, and I'll tell you a little story of why I started Toastmasters. But right now, to start, District 119, we now consist of 87 clubs. And so Toastmasters International is international. So we have 144 clubs, 144 districts around the world, 144 districts. And we're one of those districts. located in New York. And District 119 consists of, like I said, 87 clubs, and our boundaries cover south of 34th Street in Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, Nassau, and Suffolk County. And so that's our district. So we service. My story why I became a Toastmaster is because I wanted to improve my public speaking ability, not realizing that Toastmasters offered two paths, communications and leadership. And so when I became a Toastmasters, my goal evolved. So I became a Toastmaster just to become a better public speaker. But I got onto this leadership track, and it improves your leadership. So I served the district, and I also grew and gained skills and abilities that I can service the bigger community outside of Toastmasters. And so I think Toastmasters is a playground for us to grow in our skills and just service the greater community outside. And so I've done other things, like I served my church on the trustee board, and I take skills I learned here and apply it there. And my vision has grown since I've been a Toastmaster, because after I finished this journey in leadership, I've gained great ideas on starting my own nonprofit to serve in my own community for not just public speakers, entertainers, because I'm part of the entertainment community also. And so I want to create an avenue for young people who want to get into spoken word, comedy, or even in theater, and how you can get started and what do you need to do from a communication standpoint to achieve these goals. And so that is my plan after this.
I have to hook up with you because my husband's a pastor, and we love to do things with young people. So that in itself is, thanks for the tip. I'm going to connect to you on that. And Lisa, how did you get into Toastmasters and why?
My story wasn't pretty as Mel's story. It was a little dramatic. My then 10 years old teenagers, and she said something. She said, "Mom, your English sucks," and give me that look. As a parent, we all think that we are their heroes. And one day turn around and they pointed out, "Oh, your English sucks." I defended myself. I said, "Wait, you don't speak Chinese, so shut up." Even though I defended myself, inside me, I just felt like I still want to be that hero for my daughter, my only daughter. I still want to be the one that she look up to. I want to set an example for her. And then there's something I have to do. And so I look around. One of my girlfriend, she was part of the Toastmaster, and she introduced me to it. And I asked her, I said, "Does that work?" She said, "Yeah, if you do the work, it will work." So that's how I joined it. Right now, 12 years until today, I think.
And referrals, I think, is one of the biggest way people get into Toastmasters. One person tell another person, and you have to identify that need in yourself first, that you need help with something. I didn't. When I got into Toastmasters, I was forced into Toastmasters. I was in the corporate world and I used to do presentations, but I was in analytics. So everything was numbers. You're presenting numbers. How sexy can you get with numbers? And one day my boss said to me, he was the senior VP, he said, "Sandi, you have to do something about your presentation because you just rattle off the numbers and it's just nothing. It's very boring. If I do a word presentation, everybody's enthralled. But when it comes to the numbers part, it was just, how do I do this?" He said, "You need to join Toastmasters." I've never heard of Toastmasters before, so I looked it up. This was in 19 year. It was 93 or somewhere around there. And there was only one Toastmasters at the World Trade. It was at Chase Plaza. We were at the World Trade. We had to walk over. But I hated Toastmasters when I started because this Toastmaster group, they find you for every and ha.
Oh, yes.
You
Yeah.
had to pay money. Remember in the dark ages?
Yes. Yes. I remember.
I paid so much money the first time that I said, this is ridiculous. But it was incentive for me to stop saying those ums and ahs. I vowed one year, I will not pay a dime to these people anymore. But the fact is, the money that they got, we would use for parties or different events that we had. But I didn't care. I was not shelling out money. So my ums and ahs disappeared really quickly. That was my entry into Toastmasters, and it really worked. My presentations got better. I became involved at different levels, different leadership levels, and then helped to form the Toastmasters that was at American Express, which still exists today. Now they're part of a bigger community than American Express. I think they encompass everything.
Right.
So it helped. It helps me. My next question for you is, how do you celebrate these? Because a lot of times people don't celebrate when things happen. How do we celebrate that you're making this impact on the world?
So we celebrate by acknowledging, and one of the great things we did this year, we thought about it, and Lisa and I collaborated, and we talked about how do we let the district know how important this is and celebrate us being distinguished. And so we just had to broadcast it, but we had to give everyone something to carry on as a memorabilia, so they can look back and they'll take this thing and they say, oh yes, I had this. We got t-shirts, district t-shirts, and we brought to the convention. And so everyone from the district that was from our convention put on the t-shirt. And when we were recognized on the stage, you'll see the picture. It's on the website. We all came on with the same t-shirt. And so it represents unity and that we all came together. And so you'll put that t-shirt on at a later date, and you know that is significant of us being distinguished for the first time. And that was the beginning of celebrating and rewarding the district, because everyone played a role in that and everybody was part of that. And so we had to look back. And so we got a great big banner too that we carried on stage saying that, what was it? In a New York state of mind, because we represent New York. So that's how we celebrated, by acknowledging the district, and we were rewarded at the convention, and we made it a rememberable period. We took photos and we can look back, and we have t-shirts to remember the occasion.
Do you have a video of this?
Yes, I have the video. We're off stage and working to it on the stage, so I can send you those.
And we also have first vice president of Toastmasters, Matt Kinsey, who did a short video congratulating us independently for our achievement.
Yeah.
So that was great. We have that video too.
The international.
Is that on your website? Because
yes, it's on the website.
We really should share that with, maybe you did, but I don't think the average Toastmasters look at the website to see that accomplishment. Maybe you should have a little Zoom get together where you show all of this, because you work really hard for it, and the whole district worked hard to get that accomplishment. So we should have something, this is just my opinion, we should have something that celebrates, hey, you the individual, this is how you helped us to be a distinguished club. And I think they would also understand a little bit better the DCP goals.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
That's the outcome, right, of everybody pulling together
Right.
and getting your DCP goals. I don't think they understand the average, especially new Toastmasters, don't see the outcome of that all the time.
At the member level, sometimes they don't see because they're looking at what just like when I first became a Toastmaster, I just want to improve my public speaking. I had no concern about when I do a speech that how contributes to the club when I complete it. I was just looking at my immediate, and it's almost like a selfish. You have to grow within the Toastmasters mentality, and that we service each other and we grow and we build and we build and we build. And after you see all your accomplishments, your vision grows and that you want to achieve more and you start serving that greater community. But yeah, sometimes the member doesn't see by completing that path or that level how it serves towards that DCP goal and how it accumulates up above.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree that we are so bad at celebrating ourselves. We're so hard on ourselves and feel like if we achieve something, you have to. If we didn't, so I do believe that we need to celebrate ourselves even more, especially considering this time of the year. And by the end of the year, it's not only looking for 2024 what we want to accomplish, and every club, every member should also celebrate our achievement. This district distinguished, even though there were only a few of us attended, were acknowledged on stage, but it is achievement by all the members in this district of 99 clubs. And all those little stories, sometimes, especially what happened during the last month of last year, little stories and really touches my heart and sometimes drives me into tears, and how members, we all came together to make the district distinguished.
Thank you for that. And I know it takes a lot to incentivize the members and to make sure that everybody feels a part of it. But what's the downside of this for you guys? What's the pitfalls you think of being the first to do this that's going to happen afterwards?
Well, the pitfall, I don't know if it's a pitfall, but soon as we became distinguished and we were at the convention, our region advisor came up to Melda, the pressure's on you now to continue. So I kept getting that from everything. Now it's really on you. So I'm just thinking about how do I duplicate this and go forward. And so it just felt like a lot on my shoulder to keep on task. So, but it's working out well because the district right now, when just coming on mid-year, January would be mid-year for the Toastmasters year, we've increased our membership more than half, which is a good measuring point that we're in line to be distinguished this year. And so our membership numbers are better than they were in the last 3 years in the history. So we are meeting those goals now. So it looks promising that we'll be distinguished this year. So now the next thing is to look at, you have to be tedious and strategize on what you're going to do next. And so the membership is working out, and we have to focus on clubs, and then we have to focus on our educational goals and encourage the members to complete those paths and contribute, have the officers get trained. And this is what builds towards that distinguished status, is letting the clubs know also that their success in being distinguished is our success. And showing them that and rewarding and acknowledging for that. So it's a big task, but it's staying on top of it and encouraging and motivating everyone and having them want to not do it for me or the district leaders, but for themselves. It's for them. It's for the members. And because their success is our success, but by meeting those goals, you are meeting your goals. You're growing, you're increasing your public speaking, you're growing as a leader. And so all of those, it's just allowing them to realize by achieving those goals, you're getting that personal growth.
Anything to add, Lisa?
Absolutely. I may say something, maybe the DCP goals, and initially when I joined Toastmaster, I didn't care about that. When I was the VPE, I didn't care about that. When I was the president, I didn't care about that. Because in my mind, they say, if our member doesn't make a progress, what's the point of a DCP goal? But now, as being a district leader, I have a different opinion about it. The DCP goal, that 10 points, isn't perfect, but it reflects a healthy status of a club. And that's each individual education goal is contributed by the members. If the club can reach a higher DCP goal, it means their members are working on their project. And it means the club officers attended the training. It's not perfect, but it is a reflection. So it's worth it to work on the DCP goal for the club officers to achieve perfect 10 or president distinguished. It's not only contribute to this whole district success. Actually, it reflects their individual members' progress as well.
I agree with that. I'm paranoid about being a perfect 10. I'm very competitive with the perfect 10 thing. And I get upset when we're not a perfect 10. Like, how could we not be a perfect 10?
Exactly. Let me give you an example. The club that I belong to, when I started being the club president, and my mentor said that, hey, just so you know, this club has been president distinguished for the past 13 years. Then it gives me kind of a mindset is this is the excellent club. I cannot let everybody down. So in my mind, from day one, I already said we need to achieve president distinguished. So that is the mindset also when this district distinguished last year, and we want to set up a standard for our district.
That I find is true, Melvin, that when people get involved in accomplishing a particular goal, they have more stake in it to make sure that this works. And I know I've been president, vice president of education, membership, everything at some point. So I understand all the different roles and how that impacts your goals and what I need to do to impact your goals. But getting it to trickle down to the individual member, especially a new one, is very hard. And I have to figure out some different ways of getting that to them.
Right. You make a very good point. It's getting them to understand that the individual members how to take ownership into the DCP program. And one of the things is I try to find out, especially in my home club, is what are they doing outside of Toastmasters? Because a lot of members don't realize, just like you're doing the podcast, this could be a high performance leadership process. It doesn't have to be in Toastmasters. And when you speak to them and they realize that, they can take something that they already are doing and contribute to the Toastmasters program and use it to complete a task that goes to the DCP program. So it's all about communication and letting them know and incorporating. When I first got in, I remember when I first joined, I joined Voices of Rochdale. And I was so happy to speak because I was a stand-up comedian. I wanted to get up on stage and speak all the time. And it was a dying club. And I had no idea because every time I went to a meeting, they let me speak. but I got a mentor from that club, and then we started our club, Emerging Speakers of Elmont, when that club failed, and we kept some of the members there, and we succeeded. But I learned so much about it's about serving the members, and it was just so much growth from that.
I actually want to add something. I agree 100% what Mel just said. What is outside Toastmasters actually contributed to your Toastmaster program, and it works vice versa. Meaning what you do at Toastmasters supposedly to support what your professional and personal life. And for example, my home club, we have a new members recently, and she is a business coach. She owns her own business. So when I mentoring her, I said, from this point on, you have to give every speech. I will measure you and evaluate you at the impact of that speech. You have to deliver that speech considering where all your potential client. And does that speech make us to take action? Does that speech make us do something? And I'm going to measuring in that. So we cannot close the door building Toastmaster clubs. It is the Toastmaster speeches are supposedly to contribute to our own personal growth, whether it's personal life or career life. And what Mel said is vice versa. What we delivered outside in Toastmasters also contributed to the growth.
That's a perfect segue, because what Mel said and what you just said is what I do.
Yeah.
I'm a business coach. I have my own business. I started this podcast because I've been putting it off. I was always a guest on other people's podcasts, and I kept saying, I'm going to do a podcast. I'm going to do a podcast. And here comes my HPL that I had to do, my high performance leadership. And I was flipping through, and it said, do a blog. Well, I was already doing a blog, but I had stopped for a while. And I said, oh, I could do my podcast as my high performance leadership goal. And that's what I did. This is how I started this podcast, was because it pushed me to do it. I was going to do it anyway, but that was the thing that triggered. Not only can I get credit for this, I could actually get it started and go through the whole thing. And then the next time I did my next menu, I did the blog. I regurgitated my old blog and used my blog for that. So this is a direct contribution of Toastmasters.
Right. And how Toastmasters, it gives you the framework to build it so it's lasting. So it gives you the framework and the start and build that the podcast.
So for young people, what is the impact of Toastmasters on young people and the next generation? I know I've seen the impact just by being online. I get a lot more young people who are willing to, because this is their venue, right? Online, they're comfortable with it. They can jump in from their cars. They can do whatever it is. And we've grown, my club has grown, and include young people because we're doing it online. We have people from other countries who've joined and become members. So what is the impact that either you want or that you have seen on the next generation of young people?
Well, I think you're correct that it's more in tune for the young people, the virtual platform. And I struggled with it at first. I didn't like it, and I just forced myself into it, and I've gotten better at it. But I don't know. This is the thing with the virtual world. I don't know if we get the same engagement with the virtual world. And as an in-person venue. I think there's value in it because we span outside of our geographical boundaries with membership. But are we getting the same commitment from the members that we get from the in-person members when it comes to taking on leadership goals and things of that nature? I see a disconnect there. And so I'm still wavering. How's this going to work out? And I give you an example of my home club. When we went strictly virtual, the engagement was less and the membership started going down. So at the beginning of this year, we made a commitment to go back in person. So we have one in-person meeting. Our membership, it's just floored. We have members that walk in and they join right away. So in person has worked better for my club. And I think a lot of it depends on the culture of the club and the focus. So every club is different. Every club has their different culture. So it didn't work for mine. And I don't see as an overall that we get the same engagement.
I have to agree. Go ahead, Lisa.
For young people, nowadays technology advances so fast. And I mean that even right now with any young people, did you actually notice they don't pick up the phone to call you anymore? Everything is texting here and texted there. And I said that with the technology continuing, growing and perfecting itself, it's not long from today that the job market, and you see, it's not only about the hard skills that we learned at school. It's not only about the mathematician. It's not only about economics and those hard skills. And right now, ChatGPT can help you to write anything, to come up with any brand new and weird ideas if you wanted to. So I think Toastmasters are even more relevant because we're not only train people to be a public speaker, we actually train a lot of soft skills, how you deal with each other, interpersonal skills, and how you make impact, how you speak, make the influence. And all of that skills and organization skills, time management, and even the MC, all those soft skills are going to be the key quality that in the future the businesses are looking for in their employees. So what I say for the younger people right now, it is not too late. They need, the schools don't teach you that. School, other than teach you math, English, and history, they don't teach you how to deal with the people. And with the technology so advanced nowadays, you don't even need to step out of your apartment to be entertained. And this is going to be bad if they are continue stay in their house and playing their gadgets and their phones. And I think that one day they will lose that connection with the reality, that the connection with the community, and they will lose those skills that fundamentally is going to help them pursue their career and their life.
How do you, this is my last question to you guys. How do you decide, or how will you try to combine the online? Because the online is a great introduction to them. They can come, they can see what's happening, and not just to young people, but to any new member. They can come, they can get a flavor of what it is. What our Club Omni has been doing is we try to have either a quarterly in-person event so that you can get to meet the people in person, because especially during the pandemic, we were all online. So a lot of people never actually met each other. So we started to have a little get together, just purely fun. We made it into a Toastmaster agenda item, but it was just to meet, to eat and enjoy each other. And that was the thing that impacted me most. I met someone, I'm like, I never met you in person for the last 2 years. And you speak differently in person. You look at different things in person. They can't read it off the teleprompter.
Right.
They can't, you have to stand differently. So there are little nuances in person that really amplifies when you're in person, your lack of that skill. So how do you want to combine this for people going forward? Because online's not going away, right? It's
Right.
not going.
I agree. Online is not going away. And so we transitioned to hybrid where you'll have a choice to attend virtually or come in person. And that's what we're doing at our club. What we're finding is that we're getting members are embracing the in-person more than the virtual. But it's technical. We have to include that technical part. So we haven't perfected that yet. But I think online is here. We just have to incorporate it with the hybrid style meetings and go forward and see how we can impact that and how we can better service that virtual audience while we have that with that versus that in-person audience. And we've been doing it with my club and table topics has worked. We haven't done formal speeches from the virtual world to the main audience. Most of the formal speeches have been in person, but it's been working with the table topics and responding with the response back. But we have to invest into the technical platform. So if you have a meeting place, we meet at the library, so they have everything set up. We have a big screen, and so it's very conducive for what we're going to do. So depending on where the club meets, they have to invest in the technology that they need to make it conducive for everyone. But it is the future, and we have to embrace it and continue to develop it.
Yeah, I think online for my club, one of my club, it's called Good Morning New York. We meet in the morning. For that club so far we are the most diverse club in our district. We have members coming from 8 countries, Canada, US, Ireland, Australia, China, Japan, Middle East, and all over the world. And there's no way for us to go offline in person. But that is so convenient, just one button, and then you get on, you have the meeting. But I think the most importantly is right now, how you participate in online, it matters. If you have a camera off, your sound is off, you literally can check yourself out. You can do anything. So that's why every time for the club officer training, when I get on, I was just like, why don't we just turn the camera on? I really want to see you. It doesn't matter. Even though you are in the kitchen, it's not embarrassing. I want to see you. So I think that connection still depends on the speakers or the participants. How we participate still matters and still can producing the same result.
Well, thank you guys. What is next as a final word? What is next for Toastmasters and for District 119?
Wow. What's next for District 119 is that we're getting ready for our spring conference coming up, which is the theme is One Giant Leap. So we're in a leap year, and so we're making that next leap from distinguish, and we will do it. So we're looking forward to promoting our spring conference, which will take place May 18th. And we'll share the location and everything shortly.
Thank you. And Lisa?
Great. A lot of the exciting things and from the district, that spring conference Mel just mentioned. And if every member knows that if you completed your current path before June 15th, you can get the free path paid by the district. So that is how much the district leaders really care about every member's growth, and finish that your path. Whatever you're doing right now, finish that path before June 15th, and then you'll get your next path free. And for me, on my side, we're looking for next year's leadership for the district. We need to have this legacy carry on. And like I said, being a leader is not only be the service. As a leader myself, I grow so much privately, personally. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. So hopefully there will be more people step up and to be the next generation's leader for next year.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This was awesome. I can't wait to promote this, and I will definitely make sure that the world knows about Toastmasters. So thank you so much for being on.
Thanks for having us.
I really want to thank you for doing this. Like I said, Toastmasters is the best kept secret, but it doesn't have to be a secret. And with your work, with this podcast, and really, really thank you so much for advertising and promoting the Toastmasters.
You're more than welcome. This is Dr. Sandi. Thank you so much for sharing your journey on the first, where no two stories are alike, even if the circumstances are similar. Let this discussion serve as inspiration for others to show what's possible, and more importantly, to produce seconds and thirds.